the AlloSphere research facility, which is in Ealing's Hall in the California Nanosystems Institute. We know how to represent information, very complex mathematics, in ways that most people don't even realize. So, if we work with our domain scientists to represent their information, maybe together we can try to tackle what's happening right now, because information is becoming so large, so complex, so hard to hold on to. How can we make a language that will allow us to be able to inform ourselves about this information? What would it be like if you could generate, control, and transform very complex information like quantum mechanics and fluid dynamics, the way a composer or an artist makes a work of art? What if you could use all of your senses to perceive this information intuitively and as second nature? And what if we could make the computer a natural extension of ourselves? Could we actually make a creative computational language that would allow us to be able to represent this complex information in many different scientific fields, the way that artists and composers make works of art? Well, there's a team of us researchers at the AlloSphere Research Facility. We're media artists, media scientists, and media engineers. And we found a way to collaborate with our domain research partners in other fields in order to map very complex information visually and sonically in time and space. We're making an interactive, visual, oral, immersive data discovery system that's going to allow us to use the computer as an experimental platform, as an instrument that we can interactively perform and control very complex information and ask the same kind of questions that experimentalists do when they're in their laboratories and they're able to do investigations when they don't know what they're looking for. Very difficult in the field of computation. Very difficult on computational systems that rely on one knowing what one is looking for, a precise instrument to be able to do statistical analysis and machine learning. But how can we use it as an instrument to experiment and to explore? I was an experimentalist many years ago, long ago in a valley far away. I was an orchestral composer. I was working with instruments. I was an instrumentalist, just like my experimentalist in the Nanosystems Institute, working with atomic force microscopes, working with TEM microscopes, not knowing exactly what they're looking for, but looking for discovery. And having the same problems now that I had 30 years ago when I met the computational platform. And that was the disconnect of iteration, of flow, and being able to use my intuitive processes. So as we go forward and we try to make, for our scientists, these tools to allow them to experiment and discover, we're mapping very large-scale data sets, applying the same techniques that I applied for the past 30 years as a composer and an artist on how to make these complex systems.